Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Kathy's Corners, Seed in the Sand, and this is chapter 10, end of the chapter of Hold the Line, Be Patient. And what I wanted to talk to you today about was um, just staying balanced, staying in our own lane. I think I've talked about this one before, where if you're in the wrong lane in traffic, the cars are coming at you real fast and the headlights are coming at you. Um, and then the blinker is kind of like your tools, the toolbox that we use. And then getting into that flow lane where you're going with the flow of traffic, staying in your own lane. And um, I think I'm at that point now that I'm kind of, yesterday I talked about um, you know a guy who probably had good intentions and didn't think anything of it, but to me it was personal because um, it brought me back to when I was 20 years ago when I was a young parent, um, and it was hard um, to watch people say, "Oh, we're the best. We're the best school there is. We have the best teachers there are." And I was floundering trying to say, "Please help me." And they're like, "Well, we're the best. We're the best. And we have the best this, we have the best that." And I was having a hard time just getting through, you know, the school year with trying to get services for my daughter. So I was in the wrong lane. What I could have done is said, help, help, help. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is where I would like to go. And that's what I was trying to do. But it felt like I was, up against a brick wall. And it just felt like I was in that wrong lane all the time. Um, And then when I got kind of triggered yesterday, hearing the story about one of the administrators that wound up, now being in a mental illness, taking care of people with mental illness in the same way, where it's like, we have the best, we raised the most, we did this the best, and it triggered me. And so I had to learn how to stay in my own lane. And what tool I wanted to use is these, these three, you have a lane that's not in the flow of traffic. You have your toolbox, which is your blinker, and you have to find the right tool to get into the right lane that's more in flow with traffic. And so that's what I'm thinking about today. Like, what tools could I have used back then to say, yes, I understand you have the best teachers and you have the best this and you have the best that and you have the top of the this in the state and the top of that in the state. But what about my daughter? And how I could have had better tools back then to say, stay in your lane, Kathy, stay in your lane. And so that's what I'm thinking about today. And the tools that I was probably in most need of is to say, don't project, um, and don't, yeah, like yesterday, don't go back to 20 years ago, stay here in the present. So, in the present moment. Um, yeah, so I'm, trying to sit back and relax and have a more enjoyable experience. I don't have to take it so seriously, so personally, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm the best." I feed my ego by being the best. And um, as a person with mental illness, it kind of makes you go, "Are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for me?" Or people like me, that need that help. Or are you doing this for yourself? So I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter, what the reason is. The money's being donated, so I should be happy. So, all right, these are the classic tarot cards. Pick one card for the past, one card for the present, and one card for the future. So for the past, we have the Judgment card, which is like Judgment Day, um, fighting, um, finding peace in Judgment Day. So for the present, we have the Fool, which is the constant learner. He's learning the lessons, and I think a couple days ago we had a card that said there is no right or wrong, there's just lessons to be learned. And I really like that. That really stuck with me. So, and then the future card is the Two of Swords, and that is to be revealed, yet to be revealed, and nothing is for certain as of yet. And then we'll do one more card, and that's the Justice card. Love that card. What comes around goes around, and what justice. It even the judge has a judge. That's the way I see it. That's what I always told myself when I was in the middle of all this, and the judge believed the school district, not me, and he just wanted to throw the book at me. Even the judge has a judge. So, all right. These are the Healing Spirit cards by Gordon Smith. And the intention I'm setting with this card is justice. I want justice. All right. And it says, be like your spirit guide. And it looks like that. That's beautiful. And I need my glasses. Okay. Be like your spirit guide. This world, wait, hold on. Okay. This world can be full of judgment and jealousy, and it is easy to get dragged into problems that are not your own. Remember that you have a true friend in the spirit world who only wants what's best for you, and who will guide you away from such negativities if you allow them to do so. When you are between a rock and a hard place, do what your spirit guide would do and lead by example. Your guide is showing you that you can rise above petty things and be more spiritual and bring more spiritual action to the situation. You are bigger than this. So, I like that because I was really triggered yesterday. It kind of sent me back to when my children were young, and I was struggling, and I was trying so hard to get them to understand the situation. And maybe that's what I'm doing now, is saying, that's great that you can raise this money for people, but what about me? Where does that leave me? I have breaks all the time. I had a break a couple months ago, and then 3, actually 4 a couple years ago, and 3 years and years ago when my kids were little. What about people like me? How are you? How is that money serving people like me? And I guess I just wanna. That's why I'm doing this channel, is to reach the people that aren't being served, and they're falling through the cracks, and they're feeling all alone. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I do this every day. So, all right. Yeah, and I guess I'm just gonna close by saying thank you again for putting up with me sometimes. Sometimes I'm all over the place and not making a lot of sense. And when I get real tired, it's like I don't even know what I'm talking about sometimes. So I appreciate you struggling through it with me, and helping me with your comments and everything like that. That really helps a lot. So, all right, I'm wishing you a wonderful day, and we will chat with you tomorrow.